Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good. So today we are here with a new topic, that is the non-neoplastic ulcers of the oral cavity. So there are a number of ulcers that could take place in the oral cavity, and it is not important that all of them are going to be cancerous in growth. So many a times they are non-neoplastic, and today we'll be discussing about all these type of mouth ulcers. Before we begin with them, we should know the definition as always we see. So mouth ulcers or oral ulcers are normally small and painful lesions which develop anywhere in the mouth or maybe at the base of your gum. So this can be anywhere, maybe said to be the gingiva, said to be the floor of mouth, said to be your buccal mucosa or your palate. This can occur anywhere. Okay, moving ahead with the first type of such a non-neoplastic ulcer. So in this type we have got the aphthous ulcer. So aphthous ulcer, before we move forward, it is going to be of three types. This can be minor aphthous ulcer, it can be major aphthous ulcer, or it can be a third type, that is the herpetiform aphthous ulcer. So these are the three types we have in the aphthous ulcer. So moving to the first type, that is the minor aphthous ulcer. You see in the minor aphthous ulcer that basically there are small and multiple very painful ulcers which can be seen. Right now I am talking about the minor ones. It is going to be small in size, it is going to be multiple in number and very painful. Now it can occur at any age group, mostly seen in females who are at the time of menstruation. At the time of menstruation it can be seen. Also this is said to be the minor aphthous ulcer. Moving ahead, we come to the next type, that is the major aphthous ulcer. So the major aphthous ulcer are going to be larger in size as compared to the minor ones. They are going to be deeper in size. Also they are painful, more painful to be as compared to the minor ones. One more very important thing you need to remember here, the major aphthous ulcer are going to be more red in color. That means their erythematic property is going to be higher than the minor ulcers. Okay, they stay for a little longer period of time than a minor ulcer. And now you need to know that basically your aphthous minor ulcers stay for about 1 to 2 weeks. They take about 1 to 2 weeks to heal, whereas if we talk about the major ulcers, major aphthous ulcer, they take about 6 weeks to heal. Okay, so they stay for a longer period of time as compared to the minor ones. They are usually due to viral infections. Now coming to the third type, that is the herpetiform aphthous ulcer. In the herpetiform ulcers, they are completely different from these two. They are going to be pinpoint in size and usually occur in clusters of 100 to 10 to 100. Often affect the adults mainly. This type of ulcer is basically having irregular edges, and often it does not leave any scar and heals in 1 to 2 weeks. So basically your herpetiform aphthous ulcer will not leave any kind of scar, whereas your major ulcer will leave a scar at the time of healing. Okay, and here the period of healing is about 1 to 2 weeks, similar to the minor ulcers. Moving ahead to these pictures, you can see this is an example of a minor aphthous ulcer. This is an example of a minor aphthous ulcer. Here we have an example of major aphthous ulcer, and in this picture we have an example of herpetiform aphthous ulcer. You can see these are the in clusters. These are the herpetiform aphthous ulcer. Coming to the next type of ulcer, that is the dental ulcer. Usually the dental ulcers occur because of broken tooth and sharp tooth and ill-fitting dentures. These are the major causes which can lead to dental ulcers. They are very painful ulcers and are very common on the lateral margin, and they heal when only the tooth is removed. So when you remove the etiological factor, then only they are going to heal. Also at times these dental ulcers can be confused with carcinoma, because carcinoma of tongue, because both of them occur on the lateral margins of the tongue. So you have to keep this in mind, that dental ulcer is basically a traumatic ulcer and not a carcinomatous ulcer. Okay, moving ahead, here you can see the picture. It usually occurs because of the etiological agent, that is a sharp or a pointed tooth, and it is going to heal only when you extract out or remove this tooth from here. Okay, so this is about the dental ulcer. This is the third type, that is the tubercular ulcer of the tongue. Basically this is seen in people who are suffering from tuberculosis. There on the tongue region you can see a very painful enlargement kind of ulcer. Also there is enlargement of the regional lymph nodes which can be seen. It occurs in patients with fulminating pulmonary tuberculosis. So patients who have particular this type of TB are the ones who are affected. These ulcers have undermined edges and they can be multiple with serous discharge. So these are basically serous discharge. They can be multiple in number and they can be discharging, okay, pus discharging. So you see this is how it looks like on the lateral surface of the tongue. This is very much similar to a carcinoma of tongue, and that is the reason it is many a time being confused with it. Moving ahead to the next type, that is the gummatous ulcer. So basically gumma is a complication of tertiary syphilis. You must be knowing it. We have three types of syphilis, you know, primary, secondary and then tertiary. So tertiary syphilis is having this feature that is known as gumma. So it is a complication of tertiary syphilis resulting in a firm swelling in midline anterior two-third of the tongue. So basically this swelling is seen in the anterior two-third. You see this is the anterior two-third, no, this portion is anterior two-third, and on the midline you can see this to occur, okay. So this is how the lesion looks like. This is the lesion. Okay, so it can occur on the midline of the anterior two-third of the tongue. Induration is absent and ulcer is usually non-tender, so there is no pain as such. Edges are going to be punched out. Usually the edges of gumma are always punched out, and there is going to be a washed leather slog on the floor, okay. Other sides of the gumma can include testes, palate, clavicle and the liver. Moving ahead, you can see that basically this is the condition of the palate. So whenever this occurs to be on the palate, there is going to be this proliferation of the palate which happens, okay. And here it is on the tongue. You can see this is a punched out lesion which can be seen. Usually this is a rare condition, guys, okay. Nobody right now at this time, nobody suffers from this as such. There is a rare condition because in the primary or the secondary condition only people who are having syphilis are detected and treated. So usually we do not allow today patients to reach the tertiary stage, and so this is a rare condition. Moving ahead to the next type of oral ulcers that could be seen, the post-pertussis ulcers. So the post-pertussis ulcer is basically seen in children who have this repeated coughing. This is basically a upper respiratory tract infection, could be a cause of this particular type of ulcers. The typical location of the ulcer is under the surface of the tongue and on the frenum. So either under the surface of the tongue or maybe on the frenum somewhere it can occur. Moving ahead to the last type of ulcer. So this is very important to be noted because now we are talking about the carcinomatous ulcer. Now here you are going to know that what is the difference between a carcinomatous ulcer and a non-carcinomatous ulcer or a non-neoplastic ulcer. So basically the carcinomatous ulcer is very you can say aggressive in their appearance only. Also you will see that they occur to be on the lateral margin. They are a non-healing ulcer. Usually any type of ulcer that is not cancerous in condition will eventually heal after some time. But a carcinomatous ulcer is a non-healing ulcer. It is not going to heal as such, okay. You see everted edges in this particular type. So you can see the edges are everted out. There is bleeding whenever you touch. So whenever you touch, it is very fragile and it will easily bleed out. There is significant lymph node in the neck that is enlarged, and edge and base are usually indurated. So you can indurated as in you cannot differentiate between the edge and the base of the tongue surface or the particular surface the carcinoma is covering, okay. So basically these are some features of the carcinomatous ulcer that could help you to differentiate between even if it is a carcinomatous growth or if it is a normal ulcer. So you see I have just differentiated this for you, the painful ulcers, the ulcers which basically cause pain in the tongue, and one which are painless. So in painful ulcers you will see aphthous ulcer, dental ulcers, tubercular ulcers. All of they are going to be some painful conditions. In painless ulcers basically which do not cause any pain but can be dangerous are your carcinomatous ulcers and your gummatous ulcers and your systemic diseases like oral lichen planus, and next be your pemphigus, okay. So pemphigus and oral lichen planus can be two conditions which can mainly lead to this is your pemphigus. These are some of the systemic diseases that could lead to painless ulcers in the tongue, and they are usually more severe, okay. They usually pain when they become very deadly, okay. So